it's looking pretty rosy for Man United at the moment. Erik ten Hag's been strong, hasn't he, with the Ronaldo thing? He's brought in a couple of players that seem to be doing well. Casemiro looks fantastic. And he made this comment recently. I saw this tweet and I thought, hang on a minute. Something happening here with Man United. It's better. What does that mean? Now, this may mean that he feels like he wasn't backed to the maximum extent in the summer, and it also leads towards the idea that he wants to make quite a few signings in the very near future. So in this video, what we thought we'd do, we thought we'd look about how we could maybe, say it quietly, take Man United to the title. Now, I don't know, I mean, Man United fans, talk to me. Can it be done? Can it be done this season? Probably not. But what could happen is there could be some investment in January, and if there are, you need to know who you want to go for, and you want to do it smart. You don't want to be clever, don't you? So we're going to put forward 5 positions and put forward some options, 2 options in each of these positions for great buys in January that could take Man United to the next level. If by the end of this video you've enjoyed yourself, why not hit the subscribe button? 250k. Can it be done? It can only be done if you hit that button. So if you're feeling generous, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well, and of course, smash that like button. Right, let's tuck in, shall we? Position 1, goalkeeper. De Gea is a very good goalkeeper, and there's no denying that he is important for Manchester United, and perhaps not a position that they need to strengthen immediately, but a ball-playing goalkeeper is something that Erik ten Hag is going to no doubt want either in January or in the summer. So let's talk about a couple of options. First of all, Robert Sanchez, ready-made for the play style. You know, Sanchez has demonstrated for Brighton just how good he is with the ball at his feet, and has also displayed brilliant shot-stopping methods for Brighton, which makes him almost perfect for the style of play that Man United are pursuing. And Sanchez is only 25 as well, which is very young for a goalkeeper, obviously, and it would be a very good option for the long-term plan of Manchester United. Or you could go a bit more punchy, Unai Simon. You know, this is Man United. Had to get one in, didn't I? Is it more of the same? But is it a bit of an upgrade? Again, look, he's 25 years old. He's played in some bigger games for sure. And look, he's a goalie who gets in the Spain squad alongside Sanchez, ahead of De Gea. And the fact that these two get in ahead of De Gea for Spain in particular, I think really does speak volumes. I think you can kind of poo-poo them a little bit because of who they play for. But I think that national squad, I think that does say a lot. You know, they are getting in the squad because of their ability with the ball at their feet and the fact that they are comfortable in possession. And De Gea isn't terrible in possession, but he's not at that next level that Erik ten Hag, I believe, wants deep down. Unai Simon is ultra comfortable receiving the ball, and that is a must for top teams. He's up there with Ederson when it comes to how composed he is when he receives the ball. He would be a really, really smart signing. Position 2, right back. Dalot has been really good for Manchester United and Portugal this season, to be fair to him. But with Ten Hag's comments in the first part of the season, it's no secret that they will go for a right back and probably look to spend big in this area due to the importance of fullbacks in an Erik ten Hag system. Option 1, when it comes to this, you've got Denzel Dumfries. It makes perfect sense. Dumfries often misses out when it comes to the conversation of world-class right-backs because of his sort of like bulky size, and he's being perceived as a bit of a brute and not that technical. But this is an assumption that I think is a bit wide of the mark, to be honest. I don't think it's totally fair. I think, in fact, he's actually very technical, and there's no question about his credentials going forward or defending, really. He's not going to be a playmaker for the right-back role, but you can count on him being that wide presence, taking players on, making those great runs, and creating a lot of chances due to his persistence in attack, as well as the strength he has and ability to dominate opposing fullbacks as well. He's averaging 2.83 shot creating actions per 90 over the last 12 months, which is in the top 20% for fullbacks across Europe. And also, he sort of has natural attacking instincts, as we saw in the Euros and in the World Cup. His presence and willing to stay wide, I think it would complement Antony perfectly. I think that's the big thing with someone like Dumfries, is that you've got Antony who's always going to want to come back onto his left foot. And so to have someone who's just brave enough and happy enough to go round, I think is going to be really, really important in his stage 2 of Erik ten Hag's plan. Option 2 then, when we're talking about right backs, Malo Gusto. Future star. That's right. You've heard it here for too much gusto. Malo Gusto. At 19 years old, Malo Gusto is starting to generate. That's hype, I think I was trying to do there. How would you do hype? The hands. For his performances for Lyon, lots of hype. Yeah. He's been crucial for Lyon this season, and he's providing an attacking outlet down the right, and his chance creation numbers reflect that, with 3 big chances created so far this season and 2.37 shot creating actions per 90, which is obviously good as well, especially at only 19 years old. It gives us an insight that he could go on to become a really accomplished creative right back. He's also played a total of 44 league games before the age of 20. It's pretty good, right? This shows that he's mature for his age in a footballing sense, and working under Ten Hag could only allow him to become an even better and possibly a top 3 fullback in the world. Top 3? Where have I got top 3 from? Position 3 to take Man United to the next level. Central midfield. Now, Eriksen has been quality. So good. I got that one wrong. I thought he was better suited to Tottenham. I guess we'll never know. But since signing, he has been class, and with the output he's producing, you wouldn't think replacing him would be high up on the agenda. But he's 30, and there are some absolute gems available that could be that long-term future. And that's the whole point, isn't it, with Man United, that they haven't really been doing correctly, is having the next guy ready to go. And so for Man United in that position, adding depth, it means that their rotation options aren't Fred and McTominay, basically. And you can go glass half full and go, oh no, they're good off the bench. But why not have someone great off the bench? So, option 1, Alex McAllister, the Scottish. He's not Scottish. What? The joke, obviously. Although his heritage is Scottish and Irish. Here's a picture of his dad. It's just great to see him. I don't know why everyone's so... He was a football. He played with Maradona. He's playing football with... At that age, he's playing... Even with... I mean, not that age. He looks that age. I don't know. McAllister would be undeniably perfect for the 8 position at Manchester United. And to be honest, we've seen him play as a 6, an 8, a 10 for club and country over the last 18 months. And he has demonstrated, for Argentina in particular, in that 8 position, that it was the one that probably suited him best. You know, the role he had for Argentina, it was very similar to Eriksen's role for Manchester United. And he would slot in there perfectly, and is obviously technical enough to be a star in that team. But that ability to play in all of those roles would be such a plus. You know, he's got his contract up until 2025, so he's going to cost a decent amount, but you know he's good enough for the Premier League as well, which I think is important. And having only just turned 24, this signing would be one of the best deals any Premier League club, I think, could make. Option 2, this is punchy. Could it happen? Maybe we're pushing it here, but why not? Let's give it a go. Gavi, you know, pay whatever it costs. You know, Gavi is a superstar in the making, and he's just on the cusp of becoming one of the go-to names when we're discussing elite-level midfielders. He's so tidy in possession, and he's so forward-thinking when he receives the ball. And despite only being 5'8", he has that little bit of bite about him, which means that he's no pushover in midfield as well. I like it. I like that he's got that nasty streak about him, and that can only be a good thing when he comes into the Premier League if he was to. You know, he's part of a generation of young midfielders, you know, like the likes of Bellingham, obviously 19, Pedri's 20, Musiala's 19, and those guys are all at the beginning of their careers, but they play the game as if they're in their mid-20s already. They're all so smart and confident and technically proficient. I would love to see what Ten Hag would do with Gavi. Position number 4, attacking midfield. Bruno is one of the best midfielders in the league, but again, adding depth when you've got money to spend is important, and doing it the right way. Look at the problems that Chelsea are having by doing it without really thinking. You know, Manchester City have proved that this is one of the ways to create success and to retain it and play 60 games a season and have the best team all the time. It's by being able to field 2 11s capable of challenging for the league. That's what the big clubs tend to do these days. So, option 1, Piotr Zielinski, ready, made, and good to go. Zielinski he's 28 and is an option for now rather than in a couple of years' time. That is true, but he's been one of the most slept-on midfielders in Europe over the last 3 years, and generally doesn't get the credit that he deserves outside of Italy. Creatively, he's immense. You know, 9 big chances created this season speaks volumes from only 11 starts. He'd be a great option to rotate with Bruno, who seemingly never seems to get a rest ever, and he's also an option that can play deeper as a centre midfielder if needed. Option number 2, Florian Wirtz. Now, before that horrible ACL injury, Florian Wirtz was running the Bundesliga and taking the piss, to be honest, at times, with how easy he found it to create chances and put them away. If it wasn't for his injury, there was guaranteed. We actually did a video, you know, in conjunction with Scouted Football at the start of the year, saying that he was going to take over. and there would have been big competition between him and Musiala for that starting number 10 spot for Germany in the World Cup. You know, Wirtz is set to return very soon, and while some players are never the same after injury, he's only 19, so he's likely going to return to his best in time. The problem with Musiala is that he's already, of course, at a big club in Bayern Munich, but Wirtz is at Leverkusen, which means that an offer too good to turn down would allow Man United to secure the Wunderkid's signature. Clever. And position 5th, centre forward. Just to say, guys, I recorded this before Wout Weghorst had signed, and I think he's a good signing, but I think moving forward, of course, it's just a loan signing, so other options are available, and again, could take Man United to the title. Enjoy. You know, it's no secret that Man United desperately want to sign a striker, as do most Premier League clubs, and that is seen as the missing piece to the side at the minute. And whilst Martial, he's been good when fit at times, he's hard to depend on. He's a bit mopey, isn't he? It is a bit disappointing sometimes when you see him just sort of walking around with his gloves on. And now with Ronaldo gone, that position is vacant, and so are the wages that he was taking up. So, a couple of options. Option 1, Victor Osimhen. It's just what they need. You know, Osimhen is a player, he just interprets space like no other. He's got deadly instincts of where to be and when to arrive there, and makes him just that natural finisher, and he's just so good in terms of his movement off the ball. He's got that excellent pace and physicality, which make him even harder to deal with for defenders as well, and he pushes them back by sort of constantly making those runs in behind, which is so important and would create space for others. And also someone like Eriksen or Bruno Fernandes would just really enjoy having them in the side. And with 9 goals from 10 starts this season, a 24-year-old Nigerian is making waves in Serie A, has been doing for quite some time now, and should be very high up on Man United's agenda. Transfer agenda, that is. Or what about option 2? Randall Kolo Muani making big waves. Prior to the World Cup, Kolo Muani wasn't generating much hype outside of Germany, which is crazy to be honest, because his numbers are pretty mad. You know, with 5 goals and 9 assists from the striker position for Eintracht Frankfurt, he's showing that he can do it all. And at 6'2", he's almost the prototype for a Ten Hag forward. Excellent in central areas, but also able to drift wide to receive the ball, to allow his team to get up the pitch. Kolo Muani, a bit like Osimhen actually as well, he's just a handful for defenders who have to sort of make the decision to track him or to pass him on. The only stumbling block may be the fact that he's only just signed for Frankfurt in the summer, but with the money that Man United can offer, Frankfurt are very unlikely to turn it down. I actually put forward one more Man United transfer. If you haven't checked it out, it's in the video for one transfer that every Premier League club needs. Make sure you go check out that video. If you enjoyed this one, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.